One of the biggest things that I've learned of building a physique. In this video, I'm going to explain on how physique is 50% presentation and the other 50%, of course, like frame muscles, like shoulders, upper chest, all that stuff. And the other 50%, which is mainly basically presentation, like posture. Let's be real, posture. Posture carries the physique. So in this video, I'm going to explain how I fixed my posture, where I don't really think about my posture, but my posture is basically perfect at this point. So here's what I did. Yeah, now from a young age, I had pretty much bad posture because the school bag was really heavy, so I had to carry the bag in a very slouching position, and it was so uncomfortable. So from a young age, I had very bad posture. Even my mom used to point it out. My mom would say, "Oh, Bevin, why are you walking like a duck? താറാവ് പോലെ എന്തിനാ നടക്കുന്നത്?" Like she will say it in Malayalam. She'll start taunting at me. From a young age, I'm saying from grade one, I had very bad posture. And slowly it goes like that. I don't really care about it. We are young kids. We don't give a fuck actually. We just go with the flow. And then I hit the age 14, 15. I start scrolling Instagram. I download Instagram. I start scrolling for hours a day, and yes, that starts messing up with my posture. And guess what? I find fitness. I find building a physique. I find calisthenics. And I start doing a lot of push-ups, all right. And because I was doing a lot of push-ups, my triceps started to overdevelop. My front delts mm, started to overdevelop, and I started rounding off. My posture started rounding off. And again, my mom started pointing it out. Oh, because you're doing push-ups and you're building all of this shit, you're looking even more rounded. And I'm like 5'3", right? So because I started looking more rounded, I started looking even shorter. So it became like a big issue for me. And I'm going heads over this thing, bro. Like, how am I gonna fix my posture? What should I do? And one of the key things that I did was building my core, getting abs. Getting abs really ticked off the first equation. Having a strong core really ticked off the equation. Because when I started training my abs, instead of slouching, I started swaying. Where even swaying is bad, but it's better than slouching. Let's be real. Like both of it's bad posture, but it's better than having rounded shoulders. It's like when my core became strong, I started swaying, where my hips are forward but my back is straight. So that was the first equation ticked off. And then I started researching about stretches and exercises that will fix the posture. Now let's split the video into the elephant in the room, like the main thing we have to do. Secondly, the stretches we can do, and the exercises that we can do. Basically, these are the things which I did to fix my posture basically. Now, the first thing, the elephant in the room, is losing body fat, is losing enough body fat percent. Now, according to what I've seen, really skinny people have bad posture, really fat people have bad posture, but muscular people who have built the frame muscles, they have good posture. And mind me, bodybuilders also have really bad posture because of a lot of bench pressing. And because they're bench pressing a lot, their front delts really get overdeveloped. And because they don't really train their medial delts and their rear delts as much, they start looking rounded. Now, I have this mutual friend of mine. He's a huge bodybuilder. He's like really tall. He's very muscular. But thing is, he bench presses a lot. And even I had like 2, 3 bodybuilder friends of mine who bench pressed a lot. And because of too much bench pressing, their front delts started to overdevelop. It started to overtake, and because of that they had rounded posture. And that's why I stopped doing push-ups for a while, and I started focusing on like really losing body fat and building the core muscles, like the main muscles. I started focusing on my abs, and I started doing pike push-ups. I genuinely stopped training chest for a while because I wanted to completely fix my frame. I wanted to fix my posture. So yeah, that's the elephant in the room. It's actually losing enough body fat percent and getting lean, getting strong on the key aesthetic muscle groups like the upper back and the upper chest and the shoulders, doing pike push-ups and training for handstand. That really helps you. I can't do the handstand still, but I can do pike push-ups. That's more than enough for me to fix my frame. And yeah, that's the elephant in the room. Get lean, get muscular. Now let's go on to stretches. What are the stretches that I did? The stretches that I mainly did were shoulder throughs, warrior pose 2, horse stance, and yeah, these are the main three stretches that I did every day. Even now, even still now I do it. Every single day I do shoulder throughs and the warrior pose 2 and horse stance as well. I do three of these in a span of like 5 to 10 minutes. I put on some music, on some hype music. I do shadow boxing for a bit. I get my muscles to just warm up, get the blood flowing, and then I start doing these stretches. I find that my posture gets really good. And I got to say, like, most of the posture is ruined because of tightness, because of muscle tightness. It's because we are sitting a lot. So I would say this actually changed my life. Doing 10 minutes of shadow boxing and a bit of dancing, right? It may seem as feminine or whatever, but I personally think it's so good. And even in social interactions, like in social conversations, like dancing for 10 minutes, putting on hype music and just dancing, like moving like crazy. I put on Shakira Hips Don't Lie and Waka Waka, and I just fucking dance. I just move my body. And I find that when I do that, I the social flow is increased. I can speak a lot better. My posture is fixed. So do these stretches and do 10 minutes of shadow boxing and dancing. It's very fun. Who knew that fixing posture is so easy? Like, who knew? Who knew? Like, you must be fucking grateful that I researched on this shit for 2 years, probably. Yeah, 2 years. And I found that like doing shoulder throughs and warrior pose 2 really widens the frame. I will go as far as to say that it kind of increased the length of my collarbones. I would go as far as to say that. These stretches are so magical to the posture. I started looking a lot wider in clothes, even in baggy clothes. I find that my shoulders are being more visible and my chest is popping out. And yeah, these are the stretches that I did. And what are the key exercises that I did for a good posture? Number one, face pulls. People really, genuinely overlook rear delts. Nowadays, people started to focus on medial delts, which is good. Finally, some people, they really started focusing on the medial delts. Before, bro, when I would look at these programs, there were no lateral raises. There were no lateral raises for shit. Nowadays, in programs, I'm seeing lateral raises. Yes, finally. And don't overdevelop the front delts, please. Don't. That's the don'ts that you have to do. And do face pulls for the rear delts and rear delt flies. Make sure the rear delts are, I would go as far as to say, just make the rear delts a little overdeveloped. If the rear delts are overdeveloped, there is nothing to lose actually. Like, after the rear delts are overdeveloped, just train the medial delts a lot more, and yeah, then the shoulders would look 3D, and the front delts are automatically developed because we are doing a lot of incline chest press, like push-ups and pull-ups, and not pull-ups, like pike push-ups. Like, all of the pushing movements actually does engage the front delts, and shoulder pressing, all of this engages the front delts. So yeah, start training the rear delts a lot more. And another key exercise which I would highly recommend is doing dumbbell swings, dumbbell or kettlebell swings, because it really engages the posterior chain doing dumbbell swings. And I found that dumbbell swings really gave me the boost to other exercises as well. I can do pull-ups more effectively, I can do muscle ups more effectively the moment I start doing dumbbell swings. It's a absolute change, like absolute game changer. I start doing dumbbell swings or kettlebell swings, and I find that I can push more heavier weight, I can sprint faster, I can jump higher. It's a huge multiplier, the exercise dumbbell swings. And what's the other exercise? Oh yeah, another key factor is really training the glutes. The glutes also affects the posture highly. I used to overlook legs because I wanted to look aesthetic, like only focusing on the upper body. And most people, they make the mistake of really focusing on the quads, the front of the legs, the quads. The highest ROI you would get is on focusing on the powerhouse of the body. The powerhouse of the body is literally the glutes. Most people, they don't train their glutes for shit. So I do hip thrusts and Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats targets the quads as well. I'd rather target the glutes more than the quads, because training the glutes is a high return on investment. Because I do like heavy shoulder pressing, right? Like standing, not even sitting, standing heavy shoulder pressing. I found that whenever I skip glute day, let's call it glute day, because I only train glutes. I only do Bulgarian split squats and hip thrusts. So whenever I skip it, I find that when I'm doing this heavy shoulder pressing, my lower back really just fucks up. My lower back really gets that stingy pain. And that's because my glutes are not strong enough. So the lower back starts compensating for it. And guess what? Our lower back isn't that good either. So it's a high return on investment to really train the glutes. Then only the posture is going to get nice. And I've gotten plenty of compliments regarding my posture, like just my posture, not even the physique. I remember I was in class and the teacher said, it was like a class activity. Oh, describe someone sitting in class, describe someone you know. And this girl, she writes on this piece of paper, Bevan is sitting with strong posture. That's when I realized a strong posture has maybe even more value than an aesthetic physique. And when you combine a strong posture with an aesthetic physique, the movie star, the B star, Hollywood physique, it just really stands out. And people really do look on having a good posture. They really, they look at it, bro. Like when you have good posture, when you walk a certain way, when you sit a certain way, like people really look at it. Because having good posture and walking almost like a model is not that common. So when you start sitting strong and when you start moving strong, when you start moving like an athlete, like sitting like an athlete, I could say, like a movie star, when you start sitting and walking like you own it, people really notice it. I remember I was in the library this one time and I walked into there's like a small cubicle to read. It's like a big cubicle actually, but I go there to read. It's very silent. So I go there with my book. I go to read. And there's one time, okay, there was this girl, she was sitting there. And, I start a conversation with her, like a normal talk. She was doing something on her laptop. I asked like what she's up to. We was chit chatting and whatever. And she asks me, am I an athlete? And I say, no, what's up? And she's like, oh, it's the way you sit. That's when I realized posture. I've gotten plenty of countless times where my posture has been highlighted, where it's strong. You know, like posture is really important. There was some cute girl, she looked at me. Subscribe to be part of this brotherhood, and the top link in the description is a free course for you. And remember, become some play all rounder. Goodbye. Mwah. Wait, thank you. Mwah.